Hello, it's Nigel Seeley here from Premier Sports Plays. It's another very busy card in the EPL this weekend, and we've got some games starting on Thursday. The biggest game of the night, 8:15 this evening English time, 3:15 Eastern, is Manchester United against Liverpool. Manchester United are a side that's got really nothing to play for. They're going to finish second in the Premier League. Liverpool, everything to play for. If they win every single one of their remaining games, they could qualify for the Champions League. There's a little bit of matches, a bit of a spice, because Manchester United rested all their players for the defeat against Leicester, and that really didn't help Liverpool's chances of making the Champions League. I think this is going to be a fiery encounter, and I think Liverpool will come out on top. I fancy Liverpool to win this. You can get plus 140, but I would keep the bets right to the last minute until we saw the starting 11 that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer decides to start with for Manchester United tonight. On to Friday, and it's Newcastle against Manchester City. And it might sound silly here, but this could be a good opportunity to face Manchester City. They've won the Premier League title, so I would expect Pep Guardiola to make a whole host of changes. And Newcastle have been improving week in and week out. It's the only game on Friday. And I don't think it's going to be as clear cut as you think. You can get 11-1 for a Newcastle victory. I wouldn't bet 11-1. But the one bet I would have is Newcastle plus 1.5 goals or plus 1.75 goals, which is half your bet on Newcastle plus 1.5. And the other bet is on Newcastle plus 2. And the only way you're going to lose all of your stake is if Manchester City win by 3 goals. I don't think they're going to do that with the intensity of the fixture missing because they've won the title. So I'm going to go for Newcastle to make it very difficult for Manchester City, plus 1.75 goals. On to Saturday, 3 games. Burnley against Leeds is the first game. Burnley games this season, the last few weeks of the season, have been very, very entertaining. Lots of goals, lots of action, and they're playing really well. And they're playing for a Leeds side who are bidding to finish in the top half of the table on their return to the Premier League. I think this is a really tough match to have an opinion on, and I'm going to sit firmly on the fence and go for the draw. Southampton play Fulham, and there could be a case to make that Southampton will win this. Fulham relegated, offered nothing in a 2-0 home defeat against Burnley, a match which they needed to win. They could be playing now, they wouldn't have scored. Southampton played really well against Crystal Palace, recovered from going a goal down early and won 3-1. I think Southampton will win this. Plus 120 looks a decent price, and one I expect to start a lot shorter, a lot lower come kickoff time. Brighton play West Ham in a game which I think could be very tight. 2 contrasting styles. West Ham are scoring goals. Brighton aren't scoring goals. West Ham need the win to have any sort of hope of making the Champions League, but they may have to settle for Europa League football next season. And again, I think this is a difficult one, as the odds would suggest. There has been money for Brighton. There always is money for Brighton. But West Ham have the majority of their players back from injury and suspension. I think this will be a tough game. And again, I'm going to sit on the fence and go for a draw. Moving on to Sunday, we have 4 games. First game is Crystal Palace against Aston Villa. Aston Villa, again, a very, very quick turnaround for them. I think it's quite difficult to have a bet on these without seeing the performances that both sides have put in on Thursday and on Friday, respectively. But the one thing I do think in this game, there'll be goals. So both teams score yes and over 2.5. Tottenham play Wolves in a game which really means nothing for both sides. Tottenham are the heavy odds-on favourites. I wouldn't bet them at odds-on, but saying that, I wouldn't bet Wolves at all. They've had a very, very disappointing season. Wolves manager is linked with the Tottenham manager's job after Jose Mourinho was sacked. Would he go there and try to win? I think Tottenham will win this, but I think they'll win it by a narrow margin. I'm going to go for Tottenham to win by 1 goal. One game where I think there'll be lots of goals is Liverpool against West Brom. West Brom are relegated. They have been conceding goals for fun. That's been their big problem this season on their return to the Premier League. And I think a fired up Liverpool, hoping that they could beat Manchester United, I think Liverpool will go there and they'll score many goals. Liverpool are looking like a side. They're going to put 4 or 5 past someone very quickly. And I think that West Brom will be lambs to the slaughter here. And I'm going to go for Liverpool to win this, and Liverpool minus 1.5. Final game is on Sunday. Everton again in action. Obviously, they're playing tonight. If they win tonight, the intensity in this game is huge because it's against Sheffield United, and they may have a chance of making European football. So I think Everton will win. They're no value. They're no short. They're -250, which is a very short price. But Everton -1 is sort of -1.5. I think they'll win by 1 or 2 goals, and I think Everton to win to nil, i.e. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. As long as Sheffield United don't score, which they have hardly scored in any games in the Premier League this season, could be a good way to play. So it's a bit of a mixed bag on the Premier League this weekend. Lots of games on different times. Games in quick succession. We're not quite sure what team lineups people are going to go with, so it's quite a tricky card. But I'll give you my best bets on each day. Thursday, tonight, we're going to go for Everton on the draw no bet market to beat Aston Villa. If you can't get the draw no bet, just bet Everton to win. I fancy them to beat an Aston Villa side without their best 2 creative players. Newcastle against Manchester City on Friday. I'm going to bet Newcastle +1 3/4 goal. Half your stake will be on Newcastle +1.5. The other half will be on Newcastle +2. As long as Man City don't win by 3 goals, we cash something. We won't lose all our bet. Like that a lot. On Saturday, my best bet would be Southampton to beat Fulham at +120. Fulham completely toothless in their pursuit to stay in the Premier League last time out against Burnley, and I just cannot see where the goals will come from. And on Sunday, I'm going to go for Liverpool -1.5 to beat West Brom. That's the doorbell ringing. There's someone at the door. They probably want some more tips, but you've got them first. So I'm Nigel Seeley. You can follow me at Twitter at Seeley_Nigel, or go to my website, premiersportsplays.com. Good luck.